I'm going to show you guys how to insulate the Mercedes-Benz cabin area here. And we're going to talk about sound deadening, insulation, and then we're going to talk about reflectives. And if you guys want to learn how to drop the forward cabin area headliner or the main headliner that's in the back of the van, I'll leave you guys links to that down below. Now let's jump into it. Hey everybody, welcome to Random Fix. So I am happy to report that the van is all done, and this particular van was a joy to build as my kids helped me. And in this video today we're going to be talking about insulation and how to properly do that. And again, you'll find links down below on how to remove the headliner. Now it's time for sound deadening. So this is Kilmat. Let's talk about this sound deadening here for a second. Just know that there's other forms, so they have closed cell foam, and that works pretty good. It is going to get a little bit on the expensive side, but the nice thing is it's a little bit lighter, and you could probably find some other solutions as well. I've always used this sound deadening, and a lot of people in the car stereo world use it because it works. Again, you don't need to apply it to every piece of metal. You just want to apply it to the non-rigid pieces, and it'll really reduce the echoes in the van. And since the van is all complete, I can tell you guys it's really good. I do have a subwoofer underneath the seat here, and there's no rattling going on here. Happy to report that to you guys. This is going to go ahead and make the echoes somewhat less noticeable, but it's very expensive and heavy. So you want to go ahead and try to put it in panels that are more likely to go ahead and rattle. So stuff that's more inside is gonna go and rattle. Edges are double braced, they're less likely to rattle. So I'm going to use 2 or 3 pieces, and normally I would just use 2 pieces. In this car we're putting a subwoofer in, so because of the subwoofer I'm gonna use 3. So I'm gonna put one here, and one towards the middle here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and press these in place. And to do that, we're going to use a roller. And the nice thing is you can easily cut this. So I'm going to cut this piece. I'm going to try to get the areas that have the most amount of echo. Okay, so that is... So the whole trick again is to go and cover 25% of the panel, as this stuff is heavy and expensive. And you want to try to stay away from these spots here where these panels are basically glued on. And there's some panels on the Sprinter that are horrible. You can notice that there's really not a lot here. So make sure you guys check out my video on what to do before you start a van build. And don't be surprised that you may have to go and do a little more prep than you thought you would. Much better. So that is done. Now I'm going to go and take a measurement and then go cut out a piece of 3M Thinsulate, the 600 series. And I'll let you guys know in the links down below where to get the best deal on 3M Thinsulate, as I've been shopping. And this is a 170 extended. So it takes a lot of Thinsulate, and Thinsulate really adds up. So 65 by 38. Time to cut some Thinsulate. So I actually like to keep my Thinsulate compressed, especially in the cab area, as it's going to make it easier for me to go and install. Now we're going to cut our Thinsulate, and I got myself a helper here. I'm going with 38 by 68. You could always trim it off, but you can't add it. So I like to go ahead and use unpacked Thinsulate for, as it allows me to go ahead and put the headliner back on easily. Now that we've cut it to 68 by 38, I cut it a little bit longer on purpose. It's time to go ahead and attach it. So you could use 3M77 or you could use 3M90. You're not going to be removing this again. So this is what I recommend doing, but make sure you spray this outside. This stuff is really strong. So spray it outside, wait 30 seconds, and then you want to take it in. Wait 30 seconds. So when you're running your installation, it's critical to get some of these empty voids in here. And you can't really stuff it in there. So I like to use this tool, and I'll leave a link for it down below. And basically you just fish it up and get it into place. And it's very easy. So I tie some rope and then I pull on it up there. So I got it run on both sides. And you want to make sure that you get the Thinsulate in some of these bigger cavities. So as far as when it comes down to installation, guys, I have tried to use wool. I know there's going to be some people out there that talk about using the Styrofoam, but in the cabin area here, there's really no way of using those particular products because there's a curve. So the Styrofoam is not going to work. And then the wool is just going to get everywhere. And so from my own experience, this Thinsulate here is amazing and it's so easy to use. And I did find a really good vendor that includes free shipping. I'll leave you guys a link to them down below. And I'll also leave another video on the differences between some of the different installation, and you guys can compare that for yourself. Let's jump into the next part, which is really important and makes a huge difference when done correctly, which is going to be the reflectives. So when it comes down to reflectives, this particular material is going to be basically a vapor barrier, and it comes in a variety of different form factors. The cheapest stuff is plastic, and honestly it's not as good as the aluminum that I'm using here in the low E reflectives. And again, I'll leave you guys a link to where I got it from down below. This stuff was amazing. The only thing that I found negative about the low E reflectives is the fact that it's made out of metal. So in some of the very sensitive electronics area, such as my junction box, this is my junction box for this printer. Most of my electronics are back here, which is great because I don't need a dedicated battery box and I don't have to bend over all the time to go and access it. But that reflectives is actually conductive. So in this area, I actually use the plastic reflectives, but in the rest of the van, I would highly suggest the aluminum low E reflectives as it works amazingly well. The tape that they sell is good. So what I did is I tucked in black Thinsulate into the corners here. We are using that low E thermal vapor barrier here, and this stuff is really nice. It's really thick and it's actually holding shape. So I'm tucking it into the corners, and then I'm going to use their tape here, and I'm going to make this perfect. We need to cut this area out. Hold it upside down with the same curve as me. Okay, we're gonna try this in one go. Okay, I'm gonna tape to this ridge. See the ridge? Don't go into the actual button things. No, right between my two fingers. Yep. Okay, grab this. Take this off. Dushan, you want to cut that little end off right here, please? And now come around. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so go ahead and push this into the ceiling. And this tape is amazing. Honestly, the tape I used last time was nothing close to this. This stuff is really good. Super sticky. Now we're gonna go ahead and put it back. And the reason we're doing a test fit is because I've added something extra in this corner right here. I added a power port. All right, everybody, there it is. The reflectives is done, installation's done, and sound netting is done. And we're done with this cabin forward area. And I'm happy to report to you guys that the van is all done. And I'll leave you guys a video where you guys can actually tour the van in 3D. If there's something in this video I didn't answer, please let me know what it is. And before I forget, I have a complete list of all the different products that I use throughout the van, and it's completely free. And I even linked the video where I use that product. As always, make it a great day. Thanks again.